All right, at this point, we have listed down all the employees that are in the database. Now, what I want to do is I want to actually click on this full name and want to go to the new page where I can see all the details about this particular employee. Okay. The same way, if I click on this Joseph, then I want to see all the details about himself, including the photo. Okay, so now how can we do that? Whenever we create any feature, the first thing we need to do is we need to imagine what kind of URL pattern that we need for feature. All right, so for me, I want to see the details about the employee, right? So what I'll do is I will need employees forward slash one or two or three, anything. Okay, so this one and two and three will be my the employees primary key. Okay, using the primary key I can actually fetch the data from the database. Okay, so that's why I'll create this kind of structure in my urls.py. Okay, so first thing what I'll do is I will actually go to my site dot urls. Okay, so all the requests will first come to this my site dot urls, right? From here we should actually route our URL patterns. Okay, so here the first request will come, and that will be actually employees. Okay, employees forward slash. All right. Now, whatever the request that comes with the employees, then I want to forward that request to the employees app. Okay, employees app, because we are building the feature that belongs to this employees app, right? So whatever the request that belongs to this employees app, then we will route that request to employees app. Okay, so here what we'll do, we will actually say include. Okay, include is a function. Inside the include, what we'll do, we'll say employees. Okay, employees dot urls. Okay, employees dot urls. Employees is a app name, and urls will be the module name which we are going to create in this employees app. Okay, so by default app does not come with the urls module, but this project level directory will contain urls.py by default, but this app will not contain urls.py. Okay, so for that reason we need to actually create new file urls.py inside the employees app. All right, so let me go back to this urls.py. So here I have written include, right? So this include will actually come from django.urls. Okay, so import path, comma, we also want to import include. Okay, so this include function will come from django.urls. Okay, so now I'll explain you. Whenever the user comes with this request employees, then we are telling Django that forward that request to the urls.py, which is inside the employees app. Okay, then the request will actually come to this urls.py, which is inside the employees app. So here we are going to configure the URL patterns again. Okay, so to configure the URL pattern, of course we need this path. Okay, from django.urls import path, we'll copy that and paste it here. And after that what we need is the URL patterns. Okay, simply copy it and paste it here. URL patterns is equal to open a list, and here open the path function. So inside the path function, then we are actually going to say the primary key. Okay, so this one, so this part is done at the project level, and this will actually come to the app level. Okay, so this is the primary key. So what I'll do, I will say int colon pk. Okay, int colon pk, this will actually be the dynamic value. Okay, which is integer, right? So that's why I'm saying int colon pk. Pk is a primary key. All right, so this can be anything, this need not to be pk. Instead of pk, if you want to write employee id, then also you can do that. Okay, for the simplicity I'm actually going to name it as pk. All right, and comma, now we should do views. Okay, views dot, what will be our views, will be actually employee detail. So views is giving us the warning because we have not imported views. Which views? This views. Okay, we are in the current directory, right? Employees. So that's why we'll say from dot import views, all the views. Okay, we are importing the whole views module inside this urls.py. All right. So this is giving us the warning, attribute error module employees dot views has no attribute employee underscore detail. That means it is telling us that we have not yet created employee detail view. Okay. So that's why we first need to create views. Okay. To create a view, you say diff and employee detail. The view will always take a request. So with this request, we also need to take the primary key. Okay, so that is because inside the urls.py, we are actually taking the primary key, right? So that's the reason we also need to receive the primary key here, because if you want to imagine that how it works, see, the request will actually go to employees. Okay, the first path is actually here, employees. Whatever the request comes with the employees pattern, we are forwarding that request to employees urls, which is this one. Okay, so this is actually taking the primary key here. Okay, this is taking the primary key, which is this number. Okay, so this number will go inside the employee detail view as a parameter. Okay, so this primary key we have in the function. Now what we'll do here, we need to fetch the employee detail which has the pk. Okay, this pk, whatever the pk which is coming from the url. All right, so now what I'll do, I'll say employee. Okay, before that I need to actually put that inside a try block. Okay, try employee. You must be knowing this try and except block, right? So that's what I'm using here. Employee is equal to employee dot objects. Okay, employee dot objects dot, this time we are using get, because we want to take only one data from the database. Okay, only one data from the database. Then we use get. If we want to take multiple data from the database, we either use all or we use filter. Okay, currently we only want to take only one data, that is whichever pk we are getting, that data. All right, inside the get we will say pk is equal to pk. Okay, pk is primary key is equal to primary key. So of course this employee need to be imported from employees dot models import employee. And if this number does not exist, if this primary key does not exist, okay, then what we need to get, we need to actually say raise. Okay, we need to raise the error, raise http 404 error. Okay, http 404, which will come from django.http 404. 404 means does not exist. All right, so now I will print the employee. Let's see what we get. Okay, so just save the file, and here, see, I don't have the primary key 4 in my database. I only have 1 and 3. Okay, I'll first put 1 and hit enter. Of course you will get this error because we are not returning any http response, that's why. So I'll tell you how to fix this, but you should actually see the console. Okay, before we get the error, we are actually printing the name here, right? So we are printing the name. That means for one, okay, this means we put this one here, right? This is nothing but we are putting one here. All right, so if I put 2 here, then we don't have any employee with the id or primary key 2. Okay, so that's why we are getting page not found 404. Okay, 404 is this. That means our request is going inside the accept block. Okay, which is raising http 404. Okay, here also you can see. All right, so if I put 3, let's see, if I put 3, then you got this error. Just ignore it for now. But here you will see Joe, right? Joe has the primary key of 3. Okay, so that's why we are getting Joe. All right, but you know what, this is actually 1 2 3 4 5 lines of code, right? But we don't want to write a lot of lines of code, so that's why we can, in shortcut we can say employee is equal to get object r404, then pass the model which is employee, and then you put the query, that is pk is equal to pk. All right. So now this get object or 404 need to be imported from Django.shortcuts. Okay. So here you don't need to import HTTP 404 because this inbuilt function get object or 404 will by default take care of whether you got the employee with the correct ID, then it will return the object. Okay. It will get the object. If it does not find the primary key, then it will return 404 error. Okay, so now if I print this employee here, then let's see what happens. See, I'm trying to receive the employee with the ID 3. Here you can see we got Joe. And if I try to receive 1, then you can see Ratan is receiving here. Okay, so that's how we fetch the data from the database. Okay, and you are getting this HTTP response object. That is because we are not returning HTTP response. Okay, you should either return HTTP response or render the HTML page. Okay, we are not doing anything here, that's why we are getting this error. All right, so to do that, how can we do that? See, let's see, return http response. Okay, and here we will pass the employee. We'll pass the employee. Let's see what we get. Import this. Okay, from http django.http import http response. This one we don't need anymore. We will delete it. Now what should happen when we run this employees.1, we should be able to see Ratan here. And when we run this 2, of course we will get no employee matches the given query because there is no employee which has the ID 2. Okay, if I put 3, then you can see we have Joe. And if you want to verify that, just go to admin panel and go to the employees, and Ratan has the ID of 1. Okay, here you can see this is 1, right? So if I put 1 here, I'll get Ratan. And if I put 2 here, of course we don't have anything, right? Employee with the ID does not exist because in the previous video we deleted that. Okay, so if I put 3, Joe is 3 actually. Okay, so this 3 will be here. Okay, so this is how we fetch the data from the database, and I hope this is clear now. Okay, so in the next lecture we will actually show all the data in the HTML template. Okay, so this is just a HTTP response, but we want to render the HTML template, right? So we'll see that in the next one.